Aloha. It's a wonderful meeting. Tell you what, you did a great job today. Generally, students on the first day don't get notes out of the saxophone, so thumbs up, double thumbs up. Great job, good start. The idea is to take the mouthpiece and keep it with you for the first week, making sure that your reed is parallel with the top of this, meaning doesn't go over, doesn't go under, it's completely flushed. Nice and wet on that reed. Suck on it for like, I don't know, 3-5 minutes. When you have a nice and wet reed, you take it and you put it down over the top of it so it is flat, as we saw. You don't want it sliding off the side or the other side. So you take the metal bracket, it's called a ligature. Generally they're metal, brass. In fact, nice ones are super brass or silver. Otherwise, you don't want these to be off to the side or cattywampus. If you do, anything other than make sure that this is perpendicular and these are tight, starting by pushing it down over the top of it, making sure you clear the rim here on the back, you will see that this is called the chamber. Where the air goes into should be covered. The chamber should be covered. The tip of the opening has a facing. This is the frontward facing. The top of the opening is the tip of the rail though, this top being the rail. So when it's flush, we put air in that tip opening through the baffle, through the chamber, into the mouthpiece, and then we manipulate that one frequency. So you can understand where I'm going with this, right? When we go, it makes a sound in here by itself, but if we go, it also makes a different sound in here with doing nothing to the instrument. Both have an effect on the note you will get. So what we do is we make sure that our mouthpiece, after playing it for a week or so every day, try and get as many notes out of you can. Low notes, medium notes, and then high notes. Really high up, yep. Move it right on the end of your cork. Don't grab your mouthpiece so you're gonna break off the octave tuner. When you have this, you're gonna notice that this sticks way up over the side. This is just called the upper octave key. The button that uses that is off of the thumb pad right here. See, when I press that, it moves that top upper octave key. So that upper octave key is held on by this hinge screw, and you do not want to break that or else this will not operate. So the octave key saddle holds it right there, and then when we put this mouthpiece into the instrument itself, we use this little fulcrum piece here, or the holder screw, which is called a lyre holder screw. Make sure it's on tight, but you do want to have it so it gives a little bit of fluctuation of your neck depending on where you're going to position it. If you're going to keep it in the same position, make sure it's tight. Do not over tighten anything on these though. When we get our mouthpiece socket screw into here and we have our lyre sit, the next thing to do is just kind of put our thumb behind our right hook all the way down there. I think it was black on your unit as well. And then our thumb pad, which does nothing but holds our finger there and allows us to go over the side for our octave. So the keys that we talked about today, we're playing the pad 1, skipping that second pad, which, you know, we'll get to what that is, but the pad itself doesn't really need to be played. It is a pad that is only played by itself. Seldomly, it's an accompanied note. It's going to be played with others. And watch, when I play the first key, it doesn't go down, but when I play the second key, it goes down anyhow. So we will get back to what use that has, but skip it for now. Our 1, 2, and 3 pad, we're going to put them right down on here. These are going to be the fingerings we use in the beginning. And then thusly, on our other hand, first finger on that first pad to cover the 2s. We've got our second finger on the second pad and third. You should hear a distinctive all the way down. If you didn't get that, it's this sound. When we do that all the way down, we know that our fingers are in the right positioning. You were absolutely correct to think that the pinky is going to be playing on these 2 down notes down here, the 2 roll notes. To be specific, when we get all the way down to there, we're going to be playing these 2 to move between 2 different types of notes if you want to hear. That's that whole tone, sharp, tone, flat. Same name, goes up and down. That'd be a D flat, D, D sharp, D. That system of knowing where to go up and down is the center point of what we're going to be working on through our note exploration. However, getting a sound out of the mouthpiece is most important. You were able to do that, so let's just kind of move on to the next thing. This week, your goal is to play that mouthpiece as much as you possibly can. Play it in the car, play it when nobody's around and you're not annoying anybody, or do. Who cares? One of the things you want to do is be able to hit the lower notes and the high notes, as I aforementioned. So you can play with the sax in the middle of your two legs. However, traditional style has it with legs crossed off to the side. If you don't want to cross your legs, no problem. You can put it this side. You don't want to be facing this way when we're playing, so you can tilt your mouthpiece just ever so slightly, not all the way perpendicular. It would be silly to just play the saxophone like that and have the mouthpiece this way. They would have built it like that if they wanted to do it. But you'll hold it basically perpendicular. Practice on putting your mouth around the mouthpiece. See if you can see over my beard. Sorry. When you go too far up, you don't get a noise. It just sounds really bad, like a cat screeching in the hot 10 sun heat. If you go all the way to the tip, it's hard to actually get a note out because you're not putting enough air in. So when you go middle of the road, what we do is if we were to just go, we'd be biting down and our lips would be flat and our teeth are there. Well, we don't want to bite it. We want to use our gums on top of our teeth. So the idea is when we stretch our bottom lip, put our tongue right up to the end of the rim. When we blow through, we will find when it goes through the chamber, if we don't have enough air, we can slide our face up. Hear how the note changed a little bit of its frequency? One being ah, and the other one being ah, just slightly sharper. Listen to the difference. One is with my mouth back on there, using a lot of cheek muscle, blowing air through directly from the diaphragm. And the other one is just blowing directly from the lungs with my mouth around it. Both are kind of acceptable depending on what you're going to be doing, but for good amateur, what we're going to do is practice how to control our notes. So, deep breath. Don't touch any buttons on this. Play just our thumb and our thumb resting pad and try to get a note out without having it be too overwhelmingly loud or too low. If you could hold that note that long, that's great. Practice holding a note for as long as you possibly can. Now that you're back, that open note is going to be our C sharp. When we put our second finger down on that third pad, but we're going to call it the second pad because we're not talking about this one specifically. 1, 2, 3. We're going to have our second finger here for a. Remember, we don't need our cheeks all the way out, so when we press air, remember to use the muscles to pull that in. I think of it like, like smiling. That little dimple you get, use that to control it and push air through your face. Okay, open, second finger down, that's a C note. First one was a C sharp, then a C. When we switch those fingers, second one off, first one down, we get a B note. When we put down our second finger, we get an A note, but we don't want an A note you just said. We want a B flat or an A sharp. So we put those two down and press the lowest of the 3 buttons. When we get to this point, we're going to notice that the 3 buttons we're going to be using aren't roll keys. We press these keys down. When we press these keys down, we have an option to call them a couple different names, but the truth of the matter is, as long as you know it's the bottom one, that makes the most sense to say. So we're going to play the 2 fingers down and the bottom of the 3. why it feels right is because our fingers are already lined up over the top of these 3 pads, not playing them, because the thumb piece is keeping us in line. When we play that bottom of the notes, it is perfectly positioned to be there right when we should have that. We will learn how to play our hand up a little bit later for the other 2 notes there, but check out how these 2 notes played with that, and then removing it goes from a B flat to a A. So in review, no notes, second finger, first finger, second finger and first finger, and then the bottom of the 3 notes. Taking that off. All 3 fingers down for a G, but we're going to be playing a G sharp, so we need the note that is right there, the G pad. And then when you remove that finger off of that G pad, yeah, it turns into a G major. So review. The notes for this week are, which you did amazing with. Nobody grasped these many notes in the first day. Open, C sharp. You have a C. A B. A B flat. An A. A flat, all 3 notes, that G pad, first finger on pinky. Remove it. That basically concludes what we went over today, besides just a couple namings of the parts on the instrument. We could do this every single time we get together. I just don't want to make these videos too long for you. Long story short, in review, play the mouthpiece without the saxophone all week in all of your spare time. Remember, cleaning an instrument after you use it is the best way to ensure your instrument and you remain professional. Please ask any questions on this channel YouTube video, which is just for you, or just send an email. I will read it and I will get back to you. I hope you enjoyed today. I also did. Remember, to play these notes, what I was doing is keeping a beat and counting them out, practicing on how long I could hold it. If you can hold the note for more than just 4 beats, by all means, 8 beats works as well. That's about how far I can get on one full breath. So what I would do is practice that so I syncopate my breaths. So by taking a breath right after I got down with that third or fourth note, it allowed me enough air capacity in my diaphragm to continue. Remember, you get a lot more air standing up than you do sitting down. Perfect posture is the best way to do it. If you hold it by your thumb and you use the strap, your neck will get tired. So you actually find yourself using the thumb an awful lot in congruence with holding the instrument while you're playing the notes you're playing. So when you're playing full chords, it makes sense to kind of hold the instrument rather than let your neck do it. When you're playing individual notation, then it makes sense to depend a little bit on the strap. Other than that, I think you did an amazing job today. I'm very proud of you. Keep practicing. 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. If you want to go above and beyond, you can keep trying to find notes. But remember, the fingerings you learned today for the C sharp, C, B, B flat, B, A flat, and G are always going to be the same forever. It's nice seeing you. Aloha.